Hello and welcome to the Magnolia Community Catalyst public info meeting. My name is Dylan Edgell, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Center for Community and Economic Development. And we have with us Tandy White from Entergy Arkansas and Ellie Baker from Magnolia. And we also have a couple folks from my team, Michael Hudson and Shelby Fiegel. And we're really excited about the Community Catalyst process in Magnolia. And this meeting is really just to update everyone on the efforts that have been going on in Magnolia through the Community Catalyst process and talk a little bit about next steps in the strategic doing workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and get into that presentation now. Awesome. All right. Yeah, this is Magnolia Community Catalyst info meeting. I got that new Entergy logo in there, Tandy. Made sure of that. So the Community Catalyst, it's a partnership between Entergy Arkansas, the University of Central Arkansas Center for Community and Economic Development, the John C. Stennis Institute of Government at Mississippi State University, and our local community partners. So this was a competitive process, started back in 2019, and we selected 5 communities in Arkansas to complete the Community Catalyst program, and Magnolia was selected as one of those 5. And the goal of the Community Catalyst program is to facilitate some grassroots citizen engagement and some community development programs that are citizen-led. So the goal is to assist Magnolia in community and development efforts, utilizing a process called strategic doing. And we started this process. I'll go over the timeline real quick. We had a community survey, and that was completed in February 14th, 2020. And we involved the entire community as well as the SAU community. They were great partners in getting that survey out there. We got a great response from the community, 628 total responses. And we collected some demographic data. And we also looked at focus areas that citizens in Magnolia wanted to focus on for their community and economic development efforts, as well as community personality traits to get to know the community as described by citizens of Magnolia. So the top focus areas were job creation, youth and family activities, education and workforce development, healthcare, and downtown development. And then the top community personality traits were small town, friendly, conservative, down home, and rural living. And just a fun fact, I think we had 6 people say that Magnolia was funky, and 6 people said Magnolia was paradise, which is a great review. I love it. So that was completed in February of 2020. And then we were in the planning processes of the strategic doing workshop to kind of put a capstone on the Community Catalyst process when the COVID-19 pandemic started. So we had our plans in place and we had to adjust as everyone did. But we didn't want to stop working. So we decided to partner with a marketing and branding firm called Thrive. They're based out of Helena, and they're a nonprofit design firm, and they kind of specialize in community branding. And we partnered with them to complete a community branding initiative in Magnolia and completed that in March 12th, 2022. So it was a long process, and we finally unveiled it to the community in March. And I'll have a slide on that in here in a second. And finally, we have the strategic doing workshop. And this is kind of the capstone of the Community Catalyst program. And we have that scheduled for May 3rd, 2022. And again, I'll get into that a little bit more as the presentation goes on. But I did want to highlight the branding initiative. So again, we worked with Thrive based out of Helena, Arkansas. And we got a group of community leaders and stakeholders to talk about Magnolia's brand and what they want it to be. And I think we have a great logo come out of that process. You can see that right here with those beautiful blue tones. And then on the right there, you can see the mural that was painted by Magnolia High School students to showcase the new logo and have a mural that says "Hello from Magnolia." This is hanging in downtown Magnolia. If you want to go check it out, take a picture and post it online. It's a great selfie wall. But we're really proud of this process and really excited that Magnolia has a brand identity. It's really recognizable and I think fits the community very well. I now want to get into the strategic doing workshop. So what is strategic doing? Well, it's a tool that allows people to form action-oriented collaborations quickly, move them towards measurable outcomes, and make adjustments along the way. It's focused on doing and action and utilizing shared resources and assets that we have at our disposal as community members, as individuals in our community. And for the strategic doing model to be successful, there must be a collective and shared responsibility for these programs that we develop. And in practice, what this looks like is getting community members in a room together, getting them at a table, and having them literally list their assets, their knowledge, skills, resources that they have access to, write them on sticky notes and putting them on the table for everyone to see. And then collaborating and working together to see how we can link and leverage those assets to create initiatives, programs, and projects to address those needs that we talked about earlier in the community survey, to continue to develop the community and focus on economic development in Magnolia. So the traditional model for this was strategic planning. And strategic planning works really well with stable environments with a clear hierarchy where someone is in charge, and it's generally a slow moving environment. So the strategic planning process was created in the US military, where they have a very clear hierarchy where someone is in charge. And in those environments, those strategic plans work very well. But in communities where we have more of a complex network of leaders in different areas with different ideas on how to develop a community, that doesn't work as well. So that's where strategic doing comes in. It's a flexible model. It has a distributed leadership model. It's founded in linking, leveraging those assets that I talked about before and focused on outcomes, actions, and creating those projects that we talked about. I like to think of this, you may have heard some community programs that were leaderless, so there's no one really in charge, but I like to think of it as a leaderful process where everyone's a leader. So that's kind of the strategic doing model. And this process answers 4 questions. So what could we do? What should we do? What will we do? And what's our 30-30? And these questions kind of guide the process as we go through the workshop. So citizens and leaders that participate in this workshop will share ideas for the future of what Magnolia could be, partner with neighbors to identify and implement those opportunities for a positive impact, be a part of making Magnolia a better place to live, work, and play, and learn a new tool. I think one of the biggest outcomes of this is learning the strategic doing tools that you can apply in your own organizations. But yeah, this is a opportunity to share your ideas and get involved in addressing the issues that you think need to be addressed in Magnolia. So this is where you're going to get your hands dirty. This is a very active process. Yeah, just be aware of that on the front end, and I think that's very exciting. And to kind of drive our conversation about the future of Magnolia, we have this appreciative question. And this allows us to kind of focus on solutions rather than problems in our community. I think it's very easy to get problem focused when we think about community and economic development. But here's our appreciative question. Imagine Magnolia as an exciting community that attracts 21st century talent and industry, where the community is recognized for its innovation in education and business development, and where people throughout Southwest Arkansas want to live and raise a family. What would that look like? So this is our appreciative question, again, to keep us focused on the solutions to the issues that we see in our communities. And finally, next steps. So we plan to utilize this strategic doing process to move the Community Catalyst process forward. So this process that I just described, we're going to bring to Magnolia, and we're really excited about it. It's seeking to involve Magnolia in community and citizen-led community development projects. And the workshop we have scheduled is going to be at the SAU Beyond the Campus in downtown Magnolia. It's going to be Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So this is kind of a big chunk of time, but we're going to go through a lot of stuff, and you're going to come out of this workshop with some tools, with some new connections around your community, and some projects that we can focus on that are citizen-led and citizen-developed, that we can continue to develop the community in Magnolia. Finally, I wanted to give this link out here to register and learn more. So you can go to uca.edu/go/Magnolia, and it has information about the workshop. It'll have a recording of this meeting, and we'll also have some information on the branding initiative, as well as the community survey to kind of get into the weeds on those things too. But with that, I'm going to stop sharing for a second and hand it over to our partners at Entergy and Magnolia to kind of give a little, or talk a little bit about the process as well. So I'll go to Tandy first.
Thanks, Dylan. I'll keep it short and sweet. I just want to say that it is an absolute honor to be able to partner with UCA and the Mississippi Stennis Institute on this project and bringing this new tool to the communities. I think in this day and age, everything in our lives moves very quickly. And although there is still a place for strategic planning for those long-term, more complex city type of initiatives, I think getting community representatives and volunteers involved using a faster pace, short-term projects gives people the opportunity to volunteer that may not otherwise feel like they have time to do so, because we certainly know time is limited. And through the communities that we've worked with and the strategic doing workshops we've done before, we've seen some really cool projects coming out of those across the cities. And I'm looking forward to being in Magnolia and meeting more community partners there in Magnolia and seeing what kind of projects come out of the workshop. So thank you for involving Entergy in this opportunity.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tandy. Ellie, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Sure. I just want to add how unique of an experience this is that Magnolia will be able to utilize through the strategic doing process. Like you said, there were only 5 communities in the beginning that were selected for this. And Magnolia has really positioned itself to take the next step. And so I feel like we were chosen because we have gotten to a place and we have showcased ourselves across the state as being able to take that next step, and that's why we were chosen. I just encourage everyone that wants to do something, wants to be involved, wants to see some sort of change, no matter how small it is, wanted to see anything implemented. I think this is a great place to come, express your ideas, implement those ideas, and continue with a project. You know, this isn't like a one stop, hey, we've got this project, we're going to do it, and then we're going to be done. This is something that you'll be able to continue to champion. And so if you have some ideas, please bring them to the table, and we look forward to seeing everybody there.
Awesome.
And thanks you
Ellie.
For choosing us, as well as Entergy Arkansas. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We've loved working with you guys. And I'll give one final plug. If you want to learn more about this process and how to get involved, you can go to uca.edu/go/Magnolia and find out all those informations and get registered for the workshop. And that's going to be on May 3rd from 9 to 3 at the SAU Beyond the Campus. So we're excited to see you guys there. All right, thank you.